Alright, so whatever day we're on now of the Circus Voices. I think it's the fourth day of shows, I'm not sure. Anyway, we're at the Circus Hub at Edinburgh Festival Fringe, which is programmed by the Underbelly, and there's a Rebecca behind me, and I'm just showing you it's colourful, and there's posters, and there's what's behind me. There's a tent behind me there. That's one venue, and there's a Spiegel tent behind me this side, which is another venue. And oh look, oh no, I've got. There we go. Look, there's Kirsty poking her head out. So, are you going to tell us what you thought of Throwback, Kirsty, which we've just seen from Silver Lining? I'm going to go this side because of the light.
Oh,
I'm
that's nice of you. Like a nice lighting.
Yes. Oh look, we're framed by the Throwback poster as well. That's brilliant. That's
wonderful. Isn't that great? Okay, so Throwback was. It's like you can tell that they're like a group of friends. So you can tell that they had like loads of fun. It's a really energetic show. It's great if you're roughly the same age as them because they've got a good old soundtrack there of all the like 90s hits, which is a good thing. It gets the energy pumping, and they're singing their own music. They're doing their acts. They're kind of talking a bit about their experiences. So you have an immediate like personal connection with each one of the performers, which is really great. I felt like some things worked kind of better than others. Some things were, maybe leave it at that. Some things worked better than others. I sort of need time to go away and think about it a bit and reflect on it a bit more. But generally, high energy, enjoyable, and fun most of all.
Cool. Francesca?
Well, I was dreading this moment because I was a bit afraid. I do know all the performers, so it's always one of those tricky situations. But I can honestly say I enjoyed it, and especially because I've seen some of the pieces and routines through the years. So I've seen the development, and it's always nice when you see development and growth of material. They're fun to watch. It's a fun show. Technique is good, and like Christine was saying, it takes a bit of time to sink in. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
So I think felt very young. The performers felt very young, and their style felt very young. Like they haven't fully developed a sophisticated way of expressing the talents that they have honed. As a piece, it felt incoherent throughout, and I felt like the group was incoherent as well. If you're going to do the singing and the dancing and the circus skills were all they're all great, lovely aspects, but I think they need to go and watch a lot of musical theatre and watch a lot of dance, because I felt that neither of them, they all tended to bring each other down a bit, and they were a bit half-baked, particularly the dancing. The guy up the pole was, I think, the weakest and the strongest moment in the piece. And it was the most emotive, and it was really ploddy and floppy and worked with the message that he was putting across. But at the same time, I felt like the skills were the weakest, or came across that way to me, not knowing the circus techniques particularly well. And there was another really important thing that I had to say. The whole concept felt really narcissistic, and if you're going to pull out memories and personal experiences, you have to go with every man and every woman, and it has to relate to society and the bigger picture. And when you're programmed with alongside companies that are doing so much, either much more with their skill or much more with their meaning and commentary, then you have to be aware of that and aware of what's going on. So it all felt a bit young to me.
Okay, I'm going to myself and try and get something workable, because that was a good lead-in point, what you just said about it feeling quite narcissistic, because I remember thinking as I was watching it that they had the kind of microcosm of really personal biography, memoir stories that they were telling us, but the universal kind of element was the pop cultural references, that it was very musical focused. And I remember, if you've been watching these videos through the week, when we talked about Attrape-moi on Saturday, I said that they seem to use music as a way of being a thread that connects people, but they did that as a very minor thread through their piece, whereas the show Throwback has that as like the major concept. So even the memories that they were talking about their family members were all connected to musical memories also, which I thought worked much better than when I'd seen material previously where the memories seemed fairly sporadic. I think it's a slick show now, and the structure of it is quite a familiar thing. It reminds me of kind of the way Circus would create a show, the way that the acts could stand separately to the rest of the material. We've got a fan down here. Hello, do you want to wave? Can you see yourself? Where are you? What was my thread? Yes, the acts aren't always fully integrated with the thematics, which doesn't necessarily matter, but some companies try and do that. And actually, the Chinese pole routine that Rebecca talked about, that I thought that was the one where the memory and the action were most integrated, because the relationship between the guy whose name I'm not quite sure of yet, so apologies for that, the relationship between him and his pole reflected the relationship he had just been talking about with the song that was playing in a new arrangement with harmonies from Tom and Neve, which were beautiful. Like, I don't know if she's composed the music and made the arrangements. I know she did in an earlier version, but the kind of original arrangements are lovely. The show starts with a mix-up of 90s tracks, and it ends with a mash-up of hoop diving with hula hoop, which doesn't push to an extreme of what that concept could become, but it's something I've not seen done before. So the way it is done so far is solid, and it's a great idea, and I think 5 years we'll see lots more people doing that. Remind me of, I was at the showcase of the ENC in Montreal, and they had a mashup between hoop diving and skateboarding, and these techniques combining will become something new down the line. But I think I have rattled on about this show long enough, and I'm sure there's going to be more responses to come later on. So it's goodbye from me. Oh, she's behind me. Goodbye from